Hey guys, welcome to Outlaw Edge Blade Works. So one of my rants, and I'm kind of going to YouTube to ask you guys what you think and what I should do. But one of my rants is these right here, these two tools. These are both the same style tools, where they both have a blade to cut radiator hoses. And smaller hoses, I usually use a set of dikes or side cutters or snips. And I've even used like sheet metal cutters for small hoses, vacuum lines, heater hoses, stuff like that. But I'm working on my truck today. I gotta get the motor pulled out of it because the truck's getting junked. So I'm kind of messing around with that. I want to keep the engine and transmission for my other truck. And one of the things that bugs me is when you have a big radiator hose like this and you have to cut it, and these things won't cut through it. So I'm kind of asking YouTube, what would you guys do? This one is made by Gates. You probably can't see that. It has a small Gates deal here. And I've had this for a long time, but I've always made sure that the blade was razor sharp right here. This is like a scalpel, super sharp. And then this one here has rechangeable, you can change the blades right here. And this is made by Lyle. And this was bought off like the Snap-on truck years ago. But this is real sharp too. It's got a tip on it. And this one's kind of a pain in the butt because you can't really get in there to cut the hoses. And then when you get ready to cut the hoses, it's kind of cumbersome. And if you twist around like this, you can cut them, but it just takes forever. You got to almost have it just right. And a lot of the times when you're working on trucks and cars and four-wheel drives and whatever, and yet you need to cut a radiator hose, it's way down inside somewhere where you can barely get to it with your hand, and you don't have that that option to go around that radiator hose. So what I'm asking you is, what do you guys recommend as far as cutting tools for radiator hoses and rubber lines, vacuum lines, and all that? These do go through rubber lines, like heater hoses, vacuum lines, fuel line, stuff like that. They cut through those pretty good. But the same thing, you still have to kind of mess with them and get them to, go just right before they cut. And it's something that's been frustrating the hell out of me. And every time I go to cut a rubber hose or a radiator hose, I've been thinking there's got to be a better tool out there than this. Usually I end up taking a radiator hose and just, cutting through it like this with a hacksaw and just sitting there cutting and cutting and cutting until you can cut through it. I've used like box cutters. I've used razor knives or your little adjustable knives and tried those where they have the razor blades in them, and it just gets real frustrating. So that's why I wanted to make this video and see if you guys knew anything that would be a lot better than these two items here. And like I said, this is Gates. This one is made by Gates. This one is made by Lyle, I believe. And this one I got years ago. I'm not sure where. This one was off the Snap-on truck, but there's got to be something better than that out there. And that's the whole reason I wanted to make that video. This one just absolutely ticks me off because it should cut a lot better than that. When you have an old radiator hose, this should just cut right through this like butter. And what happens is you start cutting and it stops, so you have to twist and cut and twist and cut and then walk it around like this. But that's that thing I was talking about, is you don't have that option a lot of times to, sometimes your frame is right here, right underneath the radiator hose or next to the radiator or battery box or something, where you don't have that option to go around that hose. And this thing should just, you should be able to just go like this and cut straight through it and cut it off. And it doesn't work like that. But anyways, hope I didn't bore you guys. If you guys have any answers, please help me out. I don't know what to do. Tired of these two tools. I'm about ready to throw them in the garbage and see if there's something else out there. I might look online and dig around and see if I can find something. But if you guys have any tools that you use that you really like that cut through radiator hoses, and mainly radiator hoses, that's what I'm talking about. I don't care about the fuel lines, I don't care about the heater hoses. The radiator hoses, that's the ones that always get me, because the other lines I can cut through them with whatever, like a razor knife or hacksaw or whatever, or a set of snips. But if you guys have any tools that you use to cut through radiator hoses, please let me know, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.